Okay. So thanks Faisal and Tony, both of you, for sparing some time and answering some of our reader questions. First of all, Faisal, I wanted to ask you, HTC is emerging as a big player in the mobile phone space in India, especially with the HTC One launch. So could you throw more light on what sort of mobile experiences is HTC offering to Indian consumers which are probably uniquely tailored to the Indian customer?
So in fact, I would say all the experiences that we are designing is very, very appropriate and relevant for the Indian consumer. So one of the announcements that we made today is an experience called Eye experience, which basically is a fantastic selfie experience. Selfie is the recent phenomenon. So things like having a great selfie camera, we announced a product called Desire i1, which is a 13 megapixel front camera, along with a flash in the front. And you can do many things with that. You can have a feature where you can do a split camera, where the guy behind the camera and the picture in front of the camera can be on the same screen. Things like image beautification, things like if there is a conference call, then putting split screens for different people. So we have made very innovative advances on the whole selfie experience, and that's what we call Eye experience, which is very relevant for any consumer. We have been adding features for the Indian consumers as late back as 3 years back when we launched Explorer, and we provided support for 17 Indian different languages when no one else had that support in their phones. Since then, we have been working very closely, very hard to get all the experiences for the Indian consumers.
And throughout the presentation today, even your global CFO kept hammering the point that India is a very important market. And obviously, for the Indian customer, pricing is paramount when it comes to buying gadgets. So any insights that you would want to share with us about your pricing strategy?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, India is a very key market for us. It's one of the top 5 markets for HTC. And this is a strategic market that we want to invest in to build a longer term business. Our business has grown quite a bit in the last 10 months. Our internal estimates place us at around 6% market share. Our target is to get to more than 10% market share very quickly. So, and we are investing in the business. And one of the key changes that we have made in our strategy in the last 18 months is that we are pricing the products very competitively. So we have launched Desire 816, which was our flagship. It sold very well. It was a hero product, and we priced it very, very well. Then we have launched a series of products, Desire 516, 616, 210, 310, and all these products have launched at a competitive price. Today we announced the pricing on 2 new products, well actually a few products, but these are the 2 products that we had announced 3 weeks back, 820 and 820Q. And we've announced the price, and I think the reviews that I'm getting is people are very happily surprised with the price because it's a very competitive price. So yes, our core is product quality and strength and experience, but at the same time, we are pricing a product very competitively.
And could you speak a little bit about the tie-up with Snapdeal? How did that come about? Tony, you can throw some tidbits here as well. Yeah.
We've been working for a while now. So we've been working on multiple fronts in terms of providing insights about what is happening on the e-commerce space, what is happening on Snapdeal, what kind of products are selling. So we've been, as an HTC as well as Snapdeal, over the last few months we've been talking and we've been working together. And at some point in time we started discussing about what kind of devices could potentially do well online. And that's when we started talking about specific models. So the 516 came in and we said, hey listen, this is a great device, CDMA plus GSM, works well online. There's a gap over there for consumers, and I think we can target those consumers online. And then the Re camera came in, as in, this was something that we just didn't want to let go of, right? One of the most innovative products to come out in this year. In terms of price point, it was still until the last moment, a lot of discussions I'm sure HTC was having internally, but I'm sure it's $199 elsewhere. In India, it's actually a $990, right? So it's a fantastic price for a unique product like this, and it appeals to everybody. And what more than reaching out to the entire mass than online, right? At one shot, we go ahead and distribute it online. So that's the idea. So that's how the partnership came in. So here are two products that we're going ahead exclusively on Snapdeal, the 516, the CDMA version, as well as the Re camera.
For Re camera especially, I envisage a scenario where they're going to fly off the shelves like that. So how are you ensuring that some sort of a website meltdown doesn't happen on launch day?
Strangely, like some 4 people have asked me this question. Right. So the answer lies in the historic data. Over the last 1 week, 2 weeks, there have been a lot of talks about sites going down and stuff. Nobody's really seen Snapdeal or even heard of Snapdeal going down during this period. So that's something that is testimonial to the effort that we put in from a technology perspective. The largest chunk of our employees in the company are dedicated in the technology team. Right. And we will continue to double that team over the coming few months to ensure that the spurt that we are seeing, this is going to be like a hockey stick moment in e-commerce. So we are ready to take up the spurt that we are going to be seeing in transaction volume as well as visits. So from that perspective, we have already showcased that we are capable to handle these spurts and in the future as well. So we will be able to handle the spurt that is about to come when this gets launched on the site.
The Re gets launched,
yes.
Yeah, especially. Faisal, do you want to add to this? Why did you decide to go with Snapdeal and not anyone else?
No, I think the online phenomena is very real and it's growing very fast. So we've been thinking about a strategic partnership with an online partner, and we have had many discussions with Snapdeal, as Tony said, over the last many months. And we found that Snapdeal has the same philosophy as us when it comes to doing business, which is delighting the consumers and ensuring that we are actually taking care of the consumers. And we found that that we had a discussion, and we found that how do we leverage that synergy. And so over the last few months, we identified a strategy where we can work together over a longer term. So this is not a one-off launch that we're doing. It's more of I view this more as a strategic partnership, long-term partnership with Snapdeal. And this is one of the first products that we launched is Re. Obviously 516C is a variant of the 516 that we are selling offline. But Re is a very innovative product that I think, and Snapdeal as an innovative platform is a great partnership to launch this.
Perfect. Now, I'm in a unique position where I have an OEM sitting in front of me along with an online retailer. Tell me what sort of big data analysis is exchanged between the online player and the OEM or vis-a-vis?
Sure. So I'll probably be able to add on to that. Like I mentioned, we are a tech platform, right, which connects brands with consumers. We don't consider ourselves as an retailer. It's a marketplace end of the day. And our core strength is data that comes in. Right? So we can provide data to brands in terms of, hey, listen, what kind of specifications are selling? What is the change in specification interest from consumers? What are consumers really searching for on the site? What kind of regions are doing well? At what points in time? Because these are all real-time data that can be utilized very effectively by the brands. Currently, most of the data that is available from offline consumption has a very long lag, right? So by the time that data comes in to the brands and the brands take a call, it's a little bit too late. Whereas over here, I'm talking about right now, this is the kind of trend that is happening. Now, do you want to change your tactic over the next 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month? And even in terms of product specification, some kind of inputs from our end also helps in terms of, hey, listen, this is the kind of specification that people tend to prefer predominantly online. So these are the kind of inputs that goes in to the brands, and then brands assimilate all this information and take calls, certain more tactical and a lot more strategic and long term.
Faisal, going back to you, one of the things that we've noticed as someone who keeps a handle on technology, that HTC has been delivering fantastic products, fantastically built products with really premium, attention to detail, etc. So can you speak a little bit about how do you go about manufacturing such wonderfully beautiful devices?
Well, I would say innovation is our DNA. And we were the first ones to create a smartphone that we launched many years back on the Microsoft platform. So it's the leadership team at HTC has the vision, and they have the the DNA of creating devices and bringing technologies that others like to copy. So we launched best smartphone, which is M7 and M8, which is a 90% metal. It's very hard to create a metal phone because of the RF antenna has to be placed around the phone. So we actually worked on it for years, trying to perfect that art of designing a 90% metal phone, but at the same time the RF performance doesn't get impacted. And we did that with One M8, and we have seen the results with many awards that the phone has won. 820 is another device that we announced. Basically, in 820, we have designed these color trims in a way where there are trims around the camera, there are trims around even the USB port, trims around the volume button, and it's not easy to do it. So we have a technology that actually puts these colors along with even the phone body gets done. So which means that even with use, the color is not going to peel off. It's not a paint on the phone, and no one else has done it. HTC is the first one to do it. So I would say it's in our innovation, is in our DNA, and then Re camera is another example of that.
Exactly. I mean, Re just takes that story a step further. Where I would have imagined GoPro to kind of do something innovative to disrupt the handheld camera market in a big way, but you guys have come forward completely out of the blue. So could you speak a little bit about how long was the journey from ideation to finally having the Re camera out?
Well, I wouldn't be able to do justice to the engineering folks, so
right.
I wouldn't even venture to try to answer that.
Right.
We will need to get the guys who have put in the sweat and blood to really do justice to that.
So, final question to both of you gentlemen actually. From HTC's perspective, Faisal, what do you see as the strategic roadmap for the rest of this year and next year when it comes to launching phones and other devices that you guys have under the wraps? And Tony, do you see similar partnerships happening with plenty other OEMs?
So I'll answer the first question. Yeah, India is a very key market for us. So we'll continue to launch, bring exciting and great devices to the market like 820 and M8 Eye and Re camera. But at the same time, ensuring that the price is competitive, and it's a key market. We want to grow our share. We are investing in infrastructure and growing our distribution. We are growing our service network. We are expanding our reach to many cities. And then obviously we're reaching out to partners like Snapdeal to ensure that we have strategic tie-up with some of the key partners. So we have a bigger reach and we leverage their platform. So that's our plan and strategy to get to the share that we want to get to.
As a platform, like I mentioned, we connect brands with consumers. And as a part of it, there are multiple launches that keep happening now and again. But there are very few relationships that are close and more long-term. HTC is one amongst them. Like Faisal mentioned, we've been in talks for months together now, and we've connected on multiple levels. And that's the start of this particular relationship, is these two launches, especially the Re camera. And a lot of other exciting stuff has been lined up in the coming few months and next year as well. So we'll continue to work very, very closely with HTC. So you will be seeing a lot more things being done through HTC and Snapdeal in the future.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, both of you.
Great. Thank you so much.